They cut to the beach.
Yeah, it's fucking pouring a rain.
Just like the start of the movie.
Just like the start of the movie when they were running through the beach as kids, but now they're adults. She's got her wedding dress on, she's took her shoes off. She's running down the beach looking for Jake. He's got these, is it lightning rods? I don't know what they are. Big mad metal poles or whatever he's using to, I guess they're conductors.
You're a lightning rod. Hello.
I can't escape Alabama, man.
This is a double.
Get us out of this fucking godforsaken state.
It's double Alabama.
Yeah, man, we're back. We're still in the south, the deep south, for some romantic comedy.
I saw this opening night. Yeah, this came out. When would you release this?
It's not a winter movie. I mean, I would bury it in January when all the shit comes out. But like probably a summer blockbuster. This probably came out in like June, July.
December 20th.
Really?
2002.
They put this on the Christmas?
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea.
It has nothing to do with Christmas.
We got it much later. Yeah, I saw this opening night, the Odeon Renfrew Street. I've spoke about how much I love that cinema. They oversold this and they did not give a fuck, so we sat in aisles and watched it. Sweet Home Alabama 2002. A young woman who has reinvented herself as a New York socialite must return home to Alabama to obtain a divorce from her husband after 7 years of separation. Released December 20th, 2002. Budget, 30 million. It took in over 181 million at the box office. This was a huge success.
Surprised I never got a sequel. Let's start off with a positive. I'm going to give you a positive. I know you didn't expect me to come out with a positive for this movie.
Okay.
I love that Touchstone logo.
That's the only thing. And it's right at the start. I see that Touchstone logo and I can hear that soundtrack, that harmonica.
Oh man, we'll get to the soundtrack of this movie, but there's problems there as well.
We get a thunderstorm. Two young kids run onto and alongside a stormy beach. Who's this?
Dakota Fanning.
Tiny Dakota Fanning. She was an amazing kid actor.
Oh yeah, man, War of the Worlds.
So good in War of the Worlds.
Even the wee cameo she made in Friends was funny. When Joey goes to visit Monica and Chandler's new house and she's the wee girl who lives there.
Right.
And she gives him life advice. It's kind of funny. It's kind of sweet.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sure there's much more famous things that she's famous for.
Just played the precocious kid all the time and was amazing at it and amazing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's just great.
Playing Squeaky. These two kids run onto a beach. This is young Jake chasing a 10-year-old Melanie, asking if she will marry him. Lightning strikes in front of them. Melanie tries to run in the other direction. Jake pulls her towards the stricken ground and says, "We'll be safe here. Lightning never strikes the same place twice."
Oh, where's Forrest? Look out for that rock. That's just the same just Forrest Gump impression, but it's fine. They're from Alabama. It's close enough.
Melanie asks, "Why would you want to kiss me for anyhow?" Jake replies, "So I can kiss you anytime I want." The kids go to kiss, the sky above them lights up and lightning strikes, waking up an adult Melanie.
See, when you were 10, were you interested in kissing girls? I think at 10 you still think girls get cookies, do you not?
That came later for me. I was a bit later.
Yeah, wait.
Then it was all at once.
You get introduced far too early.
All at once. Remember that song?
No. I just let you go with that. Who's singing that?
I'm going to say the phrase or something like that.
Oh, it sounds like the phrase.
It does.
Okay. So Reese Witherspoon wakes up, she had a bad dream. She's in an office. It doesn't tell you what she does
No,
at this point.
what? She's in an office?
It's like an office. She's sitting in like an office chair at a desk.
No,
And then she gets up and looks around and it's like a studio.
It's a studio space.
But she's sitting at the office chair. Like, she must have has a wee corner that she's sitting at. Leave me alone.
You're pure focused on this office space.
Well, that's it. It doesn't explain what she does. It
She's
does
a
later.
fashion designer. An assistant designer tells her that her accent is way thicker when she talks in her sleep. She walks through New York and it's all dreamy, and I wish I was back there now.
We've spoke about this before. We spoke about it in Rocky, and I think also in Flashdance. The early morning walking through the city as the city's like waking up in quotations.
Yeah.
Like all the shutters are going up and stuff, and people are like starting their day, man. That's like, oh, New York's so good for that. It looks amazing.
Best. Melanie gets to her apartment. The hallway is covered in rose petals and it leads to a living room full of roses. She plays a message on her answering machine and it's from Drew. He tells her there is a rose for every moment he thought of her last night.
It's the cringiest message I've ever heard. I'd be thrown up in the apartment, man. Can I be saying stuff like that?
And you're hinting at who's seen it?
Big McSteamy.
Big Dempsey.
Is it McSteamy or McDreamy?
McDreamy.
McDreamy, right. He is pretty dreamy.
He's dreamy?
He's the hero of this movie also, by the way. He is nothing but lovely the entire win for this movie.
He got a couple of moments, but he's brand new.
All things considered.
He's the nicest.
Considering what happens to him, he handles it pretty well.
We get the show, the fashion show, it's chaos, everybody's freaking out, and Ryan's wondering what's going on in this office.
You know what? Why is all these people in this office?
Enter Nathan Lee Graham, one of the most beautiful bald men in the world.
Comes up to her and says, there she is, Melanie, fresh off the plantation.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, what? He said the B word.
It's not the first
It's not
time.
the first or the last.
No.
It's going to come up a lot in this movie.
It's weird.
It's weird that this black guy just comes up to her and is like, you're just right off the plantation, aren't you? But, oh, sorry.
The clothes that Melanie Carmichael's designing.
Pretty ugly.
You'd get them in like quiz. Enter McDreamy, Drew Hennings, Patrick Dempsey, Prime Dempsey.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was still developing. Dempsey.
Developing, he wasn't that young.
He's still a dreamboat.
Oh no, he looks exactly the same, man. He's aged too well.
He's gonna be in Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. I cannot wait.
Oh, you love him, don't you?
It's gonna be great. He is Drew, the wealthy son of the mayor of New York.
I just know that he's some rich guy. He doesn't say that he's the mayor's son until like later on. It comes up, he mentions that they're going to go to Ireland, and one of Mel's pals says that she thinks that he's going to propose.
Rona Mitra, man.
Who that?
Oh, Rona Mitra.
She a model?
Do you remember Neil Marshall's Doomsday?
No.
Keep going.
Give me her IMDb.
Have you saw Hard Target 2?
No, man.
No, Rona Mitra was in a lot, man. She was always the babe.
She's very pretty.
This is Rona Mitra, the friend. That's what she is. And she suggests that Drew is going to propose. Drew talks to Melanie and totally supports her and is amazing constantly, and he's really handsome.
I know, this is the first of many times where he just continues to be the best.
He's going to a meeting in the Bronx, but he'll see her later that night at the fundraiser for the mum's hosting. What's the fundraiser? Doesn't matter. The limo driver says Drew is running late and he takes Melanie through the back entrance of some...
Whoa. Is this a director's cut?
The limo driver... It's a wee bit seedy, this scene, isn't it?
Is this a taxi she's in?
You know, like in Goodfellas, when he's like, the good coats are in the back. Oh, right. The limo driver...
Right, hold on, right, go.
The limo driver, Jimmy. It's Jimmy.
He gets a name for some reason.
The limo driver says Drew is running late and he takes Melanie through the back entrance of somewhere unknown. We find out it's Tiffany's and Drew has kept the place open late to ask Melanie to pick the ring she wants.
This is a bit elaborate.
That's so nice.
It's so elaborate and so nice and so over the top. Also, I've got a problem with this scene.
Did you see him in that tux?
Oh, aye. Oh, he's alright. He presses a light switch and it switches all the lights on. One light switch when they turn all the lights on.
Oh, they might all be on. It's just a fuse box.
No, it's a switch. I watched it.
Enter Candice Bergen as the mayor herself.
She's fantastic in this movie.
She's great in everything, man.
And everything. She is a great actress, but in this, she's the best part of this film.
Drew's mum, Kate Hennings, she gets out the limo to this fundraiser and she's already slagging Melanie.
It's pretty funny. It's unclear that she's the mayor, by the way, because everybody's calling her Your Honour, so I think she's the DA for the first half an hour of this film before somebody actually calls her mayor.
You waiting for somebody to splash off her face?
Do you know what I mean though? Like, it's unclear what Melanie's job is.
She's got a wee coin.
A wee half and half suit. Remember in Batman Forever where Two-Face get the two babes? One of them's Drew Barrymore, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
And she's wearing all white, and then there's the gothic babe.
Yeah.
Who I don't know who that actress is, but
It's Deborah Mazer. It's
so funny. That was the dream for a while as well. But that was yours. No, just me.
What? What did you just say? Did you watch that film and go, oh man?
I know, just that scene. I mean, like, you come home, there's these two scantily clad babes just waiting for you. And they're wearing off and off gear. One was wearing white, one was wearing black. Depending if you've had a good day or a bad day.
Sorry. She's a total snob from the get-go and she plays it so well. She is incredible. The reporters all ask questions. She slags Brooklyn. Another asks if it's true her son and Melanie are engaged. She said if her son was engaged, she would have a comment. We cut to Melanie and Drew. They're making out pretty hard in a limo.
Man, Jimmy's getting a show here.
Oh.
Because they asked Jimmy to put up the window, and you know that he puts up that window, but he's got a camera in there anyway. He's getting some show in there. Big McSteamy. In 2002, Reese Witherspoon. Yes, please.
Right. We see Melanie's engagement ring, and she's picked a diamond the size of a brick you would throw at Forrest Gump.
It's weird though, because in this scene in the limo, we find out that Andrew still hasn't met Melanie's parents.
Yeah.
So she has to go tell them that she's now engaged, but she doesn't want him to come with her. She wants to do it alone.
They would have
red flags all over the place, man.
They would already have done their due diligence on her.
100%. Why did they start investigating her after they're now going to get engaged?
There would have been a full sweep. Everybody in Pigeon Creek would have been put in bags and interrogated. Drew's daft on Melanie, but he mostly wants to annoy his mum. You notice that? There's a Game of Thrones thing going on.
There's definitely a Patreon little rich kid vibe going here.
Oh, I was
picking
picking
on
up
the poor girl.
on a near vibe with him and his mum.
Jinx her.
She doesn't want to give him away, and
There is a bit of that. She wants to.
He gets off on annoying her all the time. Drew says it can be a secret just now and turns the engagement ring around. That is so daft. There's still a ring on that thing.
I know. It's not as if. Aye, just take it off and put it in your pocket.
Take it off. The mayor is immediately dismissive. She shakes Melanie's hand though and feels the wedding ring and totally freaks out. Drew's buzzing, his mummy is jealous. The papers go crazy, you already mentioned this. Melanie gets a flight home. Rona Mitra phones and she's the friend, and Mel says she's in Alabama, and Rona Mitra goes, oh my god.
I hate this. Why is she shocked by that?
It's
her hometown. You was, but are you away home?
Because she's ran from there. Why she came back? She's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know. But does Rona Mitra know that she's ran away from Alabama?
Yeah. Why else would she be like, oh my god? Melanie drives past a lot of buildings she knows, she seems to recognise. She drives through Greenville and enters Pigeon Creek. She arrives at a house. She sees a plane. We realise this is Jake's place, who is now an adult and a total ride. This is Big Josh Lucas.
Aye, he's not been in a lot.
Big honky southern chicken burger. Isn't
A big Popeyes chicken.
Big Popeyes Poseidon.
Aye,
Did you see Poseidon 2006?
No.
I kind of like it.
You're the only one, I think.
Yeah.
You in this movie.
Oh.
This dog is the best.
Oh.
He's got a big dog. What's it called? Barry? Don't write it down. Bryant.
Jake doesn't seem to recognise Melanie at first.
She also, just before she gets out of the car, she takes a ring off.
She says she wants a divorce, and we are like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen this movie before.
Were you shocked?
I thought I had seen this movie before, but like I didn't remember any of it. So when I seen this scene, I was like, oh fuck, I didn't know, because I hadn't read the synopsis, so I didn't know that. This is quite a good wee twist for the viewer on a first time watch.
Okay.
So it piqued my interest a little bit.
That's a coconut.
That's a positive.
Am I right?
It's a half a coconut.
They immediately start arguing, and they immediately have phenomenal chemistry together.
Okay.
Oh no.
I know is the right word.
No?
No.
No?
Nah, not for me.
She asks if they ran out of soap down at the Piggly Wiggly.
She's a pure bitch to him, man.
He looks like he's been in that house all day playing with a carburetor.
Oh, aye, he's one of those guys, a grease monkey, isn't he?
Do you mind they were always tinkering with carburetors in the films in the 90s?
That was the word, like, and like whenever they go to a mechanic, there's a problem with your carburetor. I couldn't point to my carburetor in my car. Have I got one?
I don't know if it's real.
Is that a thing? What's a I can't even say it, a catalytic converter. What is that? I've heard that word.
Is that in Star Wars? She says he shouldn't pretend he spent all this time missing her. He says he missed her alright, but at this range, his aim is about to improve. And he talks about throwing a machine engine part at Melanie's cranium. Jake has been sending divorce papers back constantly, delaying the situation.
As they're arguing, this dog's barking. They both tell the dog to shut up at the same time, but she calls it a different name.
Bear.
The old dog died, and that's quite sad.
Yeah, and he says she wasn't there, and she's hurt clearly about that.
Yeah. She calls him a redneck, he calls her a Yankee.
Jake says he's to sign the papers, but she's to visit her folks first.
Yeah, and then there's this really funny comedic bit where he tries to slam the door and the blind rolls up.
It's so good.
Oh, no, man. I hate this. And he tries to pull it down and it breaks off.
Can I read what I wrote?
Yeah, please do.
He shuts the door in her face and struggles with the shade. Very funny.
My God. No, I'm rolling my eyes.
She asks why he has a plane and he says that's his business. She cares about him. Jake grabs a cold bottle of Jake grabs a bottle of suds from the fridge.
Is that the first time you've ever said the word suds?
In a good while it is, but I'm glad to see it again. Jake grabs a cold bottle.
Last time it was called Suds was in the Shawshank Redemption. When they're on that fucking roof.
It's so
Taryn.
funny when he asks for a couple of bottles of suds for him and the boys.
He's like, I'm going to throw you off this fucking roof.
Jen Brooks and that bird got any beer? Jake grabs a cold bottle of suds from the fridge. Melanie has snuck in using a spare key she kept hidden. Jake says it would be nice if your wife told you where she kept it hidden. Melanie replies she isn't his wife, she's just the first girl that climbed into the back of his truck. Melanie says she isn't that girl anymore. We cut to Candice, the mayor, back in New York, doing some research on Mel. Turns out she's dug up the dirt on every ex he has ever had, and it's very funny.
Yeah, but you would imagine that, considering her character, that goes... There's a line that catches my ear. You know there is.
Okay.
Where she's reading this magazine or this dossier or whatever it is she's reading, and she says her daddy is in cotton and all that implies.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that about, man?
Grim.
It's pretty grim. This movie's got a lot of grim stuff in it. Which, in fairness, like, you can't really make a movie about Alabama without talking about, or at least implying, the sort of history. Because if it wasn't in the movie, you'd be like, this is kind of... It would be criticised for glossing over it.
This is a fairy tale. It's not ideal.
Yeah, it's a fairy tale, but at least they speak about the history and they don't completely ignore it, because there's a lot of history, man.
Drew is handing out one of those big old checks that you see, and it's to the Bronx Children's Hospital.
This is where I find out that his mum's the mayor. This
is a bit shady, man, because he's kind of laughing about his plans whilst donating this big check to a charity.
Hospital or something. Who's his mad pal that he's talking to that we never see again?
Oh, this greasy bandit.
He's just got some mad pal that he probably met in college.
He's a bit shady here because he's faking a smile and talking about his mom's reaction to the engagement. He has got a boner this whole movie, man. He's just edging. He says his mum says he should date girls like Melanie, not marry them.
Aye.
Brutal.
His mum is so funny and so brutally honest, but...
She is so well accomplished.
I know, but she's obviously not into this at all. She wants him to... She even says it, she wants him to go out with somebody that's married to a good family for political reasons or something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what happens in real life, I suppose.
The mail says that... the mail says that if they're... The mail says that if they're...
A stroke?
It's because I roll my R's, man. I shouldn't have wrote it like this. The mail says that if there are any skeletons in Mel's...
Today, Junior!
The mail says that if there are any skeletons in Mel's closet, they need to know about them. Totally fair.
That's totally fair. If somebody comes to Alabama, I want to know what they're all about as well.
Or anywhere.
No, but like, there's some history there.
She envisions him becoming president one day.
Yeah, which she even says later on. She envisions herself becoming president as well, I believe.
The sheriff shows up at Jake's. This is Wade.
Oh, Sheriff Wade, man. Oh, I've got a lot to say about this guy.
Courtney Gaines. This is he's from Children of the Corn and The Burbs. Great actor.
He shows up. Mel's delighted to see him. She runs up and hugs him. They're old friends, of course. Apparently she used to be a bit of a troublemaker when she was younger.
I like all of this about Felony Melanie.
Yeah, and that's all good that she had a history. She was a bit wild when she was younger. That's all good. What's not good is when Drew says, when she asks him when he became a sheriff, and he says, I get to frisk pretty little things like you all day and get paid for it. That's not okay to say, man. That's fucked up.
You definitely added a different tone to how he said it.
That's what he says.
You know, like
that's word for word is what's in the script. And then also this problematic sheriff says something a couple of lines later. He says when he asks if he hits her, would you want to take this line? I'm assuming you wrote this down in your notes.
He didn't hit you, did he? We take that kind of stuff pretty serious nowadays.
That's kind of fucked up.
They let it linger, yeah.
It's a joke, but it implies that domestic abuse was normalised.
Yeah, I don't think it's mean-spirited.
No, it's not mean-spirited. It's just kind of weird to think about. It's not. It's said as a joke.
His delivery is very funny, though. She says Jake has never hit her. The sheriff says he doesn't have a memory that doesn't involve both of them. Jake reports a series of crimes that Melanie committed as a teenager. The sheriff takes no notice until they mention an outstanding warrant for the sheriff's mother's tractor, which somebody dumped in a fish pond, and we cut to Melanie getting her mugshot taken. That's great.
Sure.
And we get a sleeping, beautiful Fred Ward. Fred Ward's in this movie. Yeah, I'm excited. Again, I knew nothing about this movie going in, so when I seen his big, beautiful mug on my screen, I was like, yes, man. He was amazing, man.
Really great actor.
Incredible looking on film. Pure.
Underused in this movie.
Yeah.
He's in it just enough. But I really wish he had more to do because he's, a really great actor.
I could say the same about a lot of characters in this. I just wish they were in it more, and I'm sure the supporting cast kind of shocks you a bit.
There's a lot of people, a lot of faces you'll recognise, yep, totally.
We get Mary Kay Place playing Peril. This is Errol and Peril.
I'm just getting that now.
Yeah.
Our parents are called Errol and Peril, that's pretty funny.
Aye, they're brother and sister.
That makes sense, okay.
We get this ringing phone. It wakes Fred Ward up. Mary Kay Place appears as the mother. Yeah, Errol and Peril. These are Mel's parents. She says she's in town and they have to pick her up. We cut to the truck and Errol has picked up Melanie and he asks, so what put you in jail this time?
That's kind of funny.
That's funny.
And then they talk about the wedding that she had with Jake.
Yeah.
And how it was a nightmare. You know, he didn't show up. He showed up late, or he was drunk or something like that.
He was drunk from the night before and puked all over Mel's
puked
dress.
Over her wedding dress. This just sounds like hell, man. That sounds like the worst date ever.
Her father says Jake's changed a lot and she doesn't want to hear any of it. Mel says that she's met someone and they're a great guy. She says she's happy. Mel's mum is happy to see her, but she's critical from the get-go.
Yeah, she makes a comment about her haircut, is it, right away?
Says the haircut makes her look tired, perhaps. Errol asks Mel to sit in his good chair, and it's this pure beast of a recliner.
Man, this chair was the dream. Not this particular chair, but see when I was like a certain age, like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or whatever, I wanted a recliner like you wouldn't fucking believe.
In what way?
See, watching Friends and seeing Joey and Chandler. They were called Joey and Chandler chairs. I didn't know what a recliner was.
Who was calling it this?
I was.
The people in the message boards.
Aye.
He says Jake's thinking about getting one.
See?
Errol says Jake is going places and Mel doesn't want to hear about it. There's tension over the parents coming to New York or Mel coming back home. Some deep resentment. I don't know why
I've wrote that. Aye, but you can tell that they're not really happy that she's like ran away to New York. She's not really happy that they've not visited her. They clearly aren't city people. She clearly doesn't want to be associated with Alabama. There's a bit of an impasse.
Mel shows off the engagement ring. Errol says to get the bologna cake out of the icebox.
That's kind of funny.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Layers of sliced bologna, cream cheese and ranch dressing.
How's that a cake?
That'll just be what they call it. Yeah, like...
That just sounds like... Say that again. Say what it is again.
Layers of sliced bologna, cream cheese and ranch dressing. It's like a lasagna without...
It kind of sounds like lasagna-ish. Without the layers.
Lasagna has layers.
No, that's what I'm saying. That like this
Silent
cakes.
Shrek.
No. No, lasagna has layers, but this bologna cake sounds like it's...
Donkey! Back to the mayor, fighting over the wedding dates. I like when she calls Melanie some young piece of ass. And we definitely get an indication that the dad left for some young piece of ass.
Yeah. He says, I'm not dad or something.
Yeah. Melanie drives into town on her phone, showing no regard for any of these locals.
I wrote she's on the 4-mile driving. Bad.
She's one arm in it, man.
It's Alabama. Nobody gives a fuck.
She gets
And we know who the cops are, let's face it. Wade. Is he going to do about it?
Oh, she gets catcalled and I thought it was Wade.
Then I realised, obviously, it is the great Ethan Embry. And he plays, what is it, Bobby Ray?
This is...
Bubba J.
I love Ethan Embry, man.
Oh, he's great. He's real good.
She asks if there's a little lady.
Yeah, so they're referring to some women. I don't know if they name the women, but she says that he's still with such and such, and she says a name.
You were really sweet on each other in high school.
Yeah, and he says something like, well, she's
up north.
She's up north teaching softball, and then they kind of look at each other and both sort of make a joke as if that makes her gay.
Yeah, it was a common...
It's a weird sort of homophobic joke, as if because she's a softball coach, that's That's like a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. She's a lesbian.
American humour was full of that. I don't think we got that as much in the UK.
I don't think so either, because I knew what they were trying to say. You could tell there's a joke in the way they look at each other is they're definitely implying that she's gay, but I don't get it.
The worst version of it is Scary Movie.
I don't remember.
The coach with the balls.
Oh yeah.
Horrid film. So after they mention this woman, they give each other this long sort of lingering look. It's implied that Bobby Ray's gay and Melanie knows about it.
I didn't pick up on this at all at this point.
Yeah, they mention secrets and they give each other a kind of...
I thought that maybe they used to like having not an affair, but like maybe they used to be something in high school.
Right.
That's what I got from this scene. Obviously later on it all makes sense, but when I'm watching this movie and they look at each other like that, I'm thinking, oh, maybe they used to be a thing. That's what I got from it. Obviously I was incorrect.
He says he knows all about the cocks in her hen house, and I am legit beaming. That was filthy, man. Melanie goes to the bank and the security guard is terrified of her. He takes his break early and he says he doesn't want any trouble. Mel gets to a teller and it's the wonderful Mary Lynn, right, Scoob?
Again, very underused. I think this is the only scene she's in, am I right?
Couple of scenes.
Dorothea,
she is so funny. She has, like Melanie Linsky later in this, limited screen time and they shine in the scenes. Incredible. Totally. She's married to the Sheriff Wade. She talks in whispers and is fantastic the entire time. She makes Melanie aware of their joint account and Melanie empties it.
So, and then the next scene, basically she just moves into Jake's house. She's took all that money and she's basically redecorated the entire place. She's got rid of all his shit. And
she's playing housewife and it's really funny. She's preparing a meal. She's changed everything.
Man, he opens the fridge and he's like, what's all this? Chick food?
It's because she's replaced the beer with light beer.
And he calls it chick food.
He says, you go right ahead and spend your money. Mel replies, oh, but darling, I thought you said we should think of it as our money. And he's realised that she has access to the joint checking account.
Man, he's drinking a beer at this point. He's downing a beer and like...
It's a cool shot. It's a cool De Palma shot. She asks what he's doing with all that money. He doesn't answer. She's genuinely concerned. He says he doesn't ask about her boyfriend, so she shouldn't be concerned about his beeswax. She asks who told him.
Just because I talk so doesn't mean I'm stupid. Oh, fuck off.
That sounded like Harvey Keitel.
He would have done this better. Man. It's a terrible delivery, but in fairness to him, it's a terrible line. This is awful. Just because I talk so don't mean I'm stupid.
It's better than that Gump line, man.
What one?
Stupid is as stupid does. Do you know what? They're both terrible lines.
But it's so cheesy. This is the whole, just because I'm a redneck doesn't mean that. I mean, it's the whole class thing, but it's like so shoved in your throat here, and I'm like, fuck off.
I like this line a lot. Nobody finds their soulmate when they're 10 years old. Where's the fun in that? And he gives her a cheeky sort of I like that line quite a lot.
That's alright.
That's nice, man. The scene lingers in their memory, and I really like it.
He doesn't sign the paperwork again. He says he's going to sign it, and then says, you know what, I've got a date, and he just throws the contract down, and they're playing some mind games, Karen. It's mind games.
But first, Melanie notices a glass sculpture on Jake's mantelpiece, and she says she can't believe he still has it. Most people don't know lightning does that to sand. Jake mumbles in agreement whilst toying with the divorce papers. Mel follows him on his date to Stella's. This is Jake's mum's sort of roadhouse bar, played by the absolute best, Jean Smart.
She's great, yeah. Again,
incredible.
Underused.
There should have been a few more scenes with Stella. She lights up whatever scene she's in. When she sees Melanie through the crowd, she announces trouble has come through the door, disguised as her favourite daughter-in-law. She shows her nothing but kindness despite any... I like how everybody still loves her and just wishes her well. Melanie Linsky shows up. I imagine this is a fan club of Melanie Linsky, this room.
I would assume so, aye.
She's the best. Adorable as ever. She's basically just playing Randy Quaid's wife from Vacation in this.
Aye. Did you see her in Last of Us?
Yes.
Weird casting. It totally worked.
She was
It's
good.
She was good, but I've never seen her do a role like that before.
Because she's having a minute with Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets, she gets kind of crazy. I gave up on that second season, but she gets kind of crazy and that's cool.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, sorry.
Not at all.
Taking us off topic again.
Yeah, she gets to shine despite the limited screen time. She remarks on Mel looking all fancy. Mel says, "Look at you. You have a baby in a bar."
That is quite funny the way she says that. Like she's judging her.
She humbly responds that she has 3 more at home, but this one is portable because it's still on the tip. That is amazing.
She delivers it really well. It's
so
really funny.
Mel interrupts Jake's date. Jake asks his date to get them a couple of drinks, and
The date's name's Star. She goes, "Hey, I'm Star." And I'm like, strip club did they get her for, man?
Jake asks Star to get them a couple of drinks, and Star assumes that the drinks are for Jake and Mel.
that's funny.
That's really funny. And he goes, "You and I, her, not her." Oh, I can't get it right. Oh, this is when we get the... here we go. This is Eldon and Clinton. They show up and do this whole routine where they basically smoosh into Melanie and she gets angry. And she says no more Melanie sandwiches or tacos, and definitely no more Melanie corn dogs.
These two...
They're like Rocksteady and Bebop.
Yeah. Where were they in January 6th?
Oh, you know where they were.
Oh, aye, they were there.
Bobby Ray says she's got a stick up her butt, and to be fair, she is just about to be the rudest person ever.
She's the worst in this scene.
She gets steaming.
Yeah, they play pool. They're all getting loaded, taking shots. There's like empty shot glasses around the pool table. Again, another line that I've highlighted here is one of the worst lines in the entire movie, where he says you can take the girl out the honky tonk, but you can't take the honky tonk out the girl.
Yeah.
Fuck off with that line, man. I'm fucking boofing here.
They ask if he's going to divorce Melanie. He says a couple more days won't kill her, unfortunately. Clinton has a throwaway comment about her potentially being surprised at what Jake has become whilst she's been gone. Mel proceeds to be brutal, talks about Jake getting her pregnant, outs Bobby Ray. So
Horrible,
brutal,
just
brutal.
Outs this guy in the middle of a bar in front of the entire town, apparently, is in this bar.
Bobby Ray slags her using a quote from a fashion critic. She asks why he doesn't just go to a gay bar. Eldon asks what Bobby Ray would do at a gay bar, and he's clearly upset. She asks Stella for another round of drinks, and Stella says she's had enough, and Melanie just starts tearing through the town. She asks how they can live like this, and they appropriately just sort of like shrug it off.
You've always seen this in a pub, the arsehole in the pub that nobody likes, it's been too loud, that you just want to fuck off. She's that person.
Jake is rightfully defensive of his friends and family. Melanie says she prefers Melanie Linsky says she prefers when she was crazy. Mel tries to drive home drunk and he doesn't let her do it. It's pretty
He
cool.
takes the keys off her, rightfully so. Puts her in his truck, then says to Star, his date, to follow them home. And then he turns around and she's puked all over the driver's seat of his truck. And then she passes out, evidently, because the next scene we see, she wakes up in her bed in her mum and dad's house.
Beside her are the divorce papers and they are signed, and I think she's got a really heavy hangover, and I guarantee she will not be rolling her eyes at some of that southern food now.
Oh no, man, she wants fried pickles.
Oh, she'll have fried chicken steak with a big glass iron brew or whatever they call it down there. Moonshine.
She walks into the living room and her dad's getting dressed up in this Civil War gear.
Yeah.
This whole Civil War thing in this movie is fucking off-putting.
It's deliberately vague as well.
He's on the south side.
It's a grey outfit.
Yeah, it's the south. It's the
baddies. But I still think it. I say it's
Did you
vague.
see the cushions?
I did see the cushion.
The big Confederate flag.
Yeah.
You know what side they're on. You know what they're voting for. You know where Big Fred was? Big Fred Ward was in the 6.
Arrow isn't a bad guy. He certainly doesn't show any sort of mean traits. the film just washes the South's dark history.
Yeah, I mean...
Quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Melanie goes to Jake's. Jake has this huge bone for Bryant, and he throws the bone into the lake, and Bryant dives for it. Mel asks if he can swim, and Jake says it doesn't look like it as bubbles come up from the lake. She says she gave him his money back. He says he likes what she did with the house. Bryant pops back up and she asks how deep the water is, and he says about 8 feet.
Aye, 8 feet, that's funny.
Jake says he's going to sell the place, and the way that she's done it up should help. He tells her he signed her papers and she might want to stand out of the way. She says he can't just leave. He says of course he can, and asks if she wants to come with him.
She says no, though.
She says she can, and he says you can't or you won't.
And she goes, both.
Both.
There's one of them.
It's pure good. Mel posts the divorce papers. She interacts with the mailman. She asks for Bobby Ray's address. He says the address reluctantly. She recognises him and asks if he remembers her. He says he remembers she used to steal catfish from his pond. She admits this and says sorry. He forgives her and is immediately lovely. It's really nice.
Yep, and then she goes and visits Bobby Ray at his slave house.
A plantation, the Carmichael plantation. This is where she took her name from. This is like a Forrest Gump situation.
She literally stole this name from this big old plantation. And guess what? This house looks a lot like Forrest Gump's house. This big white estate with loads of fields around it.
Mel goes to the Carmichael plantation. Bobby Ray is helping this old daft fire and Bobby Ray is helping this old daft idiot fire anvils all about the place. Why would they let them do this?
It seems very dangerous. And the wreck, like the outside like shed or whatever it is.
Oh, they wreck this lawn. These are proper Wile E. Coyote anvils. These are Acme anvils, Ryan.
It's crazy.
The old guy has bloodlust and Bobby is not helping.
Oh, 100%, man. This guy's seen some stuff as well. This old guy. He's just old enough to remember the good old days, as he calls them.
Mel apologises and Bobby Ray is rightfully hurt. He's hurt she left it all. She's sorry she outed him. I like this scene. She's genuinely apologetic.
She is. He forgives her a bit too easily, to be honest.
He doesn't really, sort of lets it linger initially.
Yeah, but still, you can tell that he's a bit still sweet on her, but I would be fucking raging. Personally.
At one point, this old coot says he can't find the fuse, and Bobby shows him that he took the fuses.
He's got them in his pocket.
Quite funny. He leaves Melanie, and she sadly whispers, "Bye." As she leaves, the mayor's wee creepy lackey shows up, pretending to be from a paper, getting the dirt on Mel.
New York Post, I believe.
He is very insistent and wants to see everything about where she grew up. Mel goes full cartoon mode and tries to...
I hate this scene.
It's mad.
I hate this scene.
This is mad.
Just be like, no, you can't see inside my house.
She tries to give a silent ninja tour.
It's so weird. So instead of just being like, she says, I'm just going out, and he says, I'll come back later. Then she goes, no, don't do that. Why don't you just say, I come back later? Like, or just be like, no, get to fuck.
She tries to do this tour and they hide in a closet, and then...
Also, why are they hiding? She was just in this house visiting Bobby. See if that woman, I think there's a maid comes out at one point and they hide from her in a cupboard. Why wouldn't you just, like, say hello to her? Because she obviously, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to hide. This scene is so stupid. I hate this.
She's already in deep.
Worst part of the film. They then hide in this broom cupboard. He says, why are we in this broom cupboard? And she's like, oh, this is where the Underground Railroad was built.
She says...
What the fuck?
She says that they're also that they're Civil War ghosts.
Aye. Because he says, why are we whispering? She's because it's haunted, there's Civil War ghosts. It's so stupid, man.
That bit's funny.
This entire scene's crazy, man. It doesn't even
This pays off. This is so funny. When they leave the closet, the old soldier Bobby Ray was with comes down the stairs and he asks, is that one of the Civil War ghosts?
Aye, that's kind of funny.
The creep asks if that was one of the ghosts. Bobby Ray notices this is total... Bobby Ray notices all this chaos and totally saves her here. He's amazing here.
Yeah. He walks in and says, oh, I'm her cousin. And then he takes him a tour of the plantation. and tells him all about the history and stuff, and basically covers for her.
He embellishes all of her garbage and excitedly gives this guy a tour. At one point, the ghostly Civil War soldier hears mention of Melanie Carmichael and says, "Never heard of her." They think this will potentially ruin the whole thing until he follows it up with this confused laugh.
And it just seems like a crazy old guy.
It's a very funny cutaway. You'd imagine it in an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
He's got this sort of wandering look. They both laugh and I am in hysterics. He gets solid information and leaves Bobby and Melanie in a better place than they were before. It's like this act kind of reignites their friendship, and it's cause it's got a hint of this sort of felony Melanie character.
Yeah. I hated this scene.
You get some Avril Lavigne.
Oh man. Well, so we cut to the Catfish Festival.
This is the Catfish Festival, baby.
This
It's so cute, man.
This get me anywhere else in the world but here.
No.
This is my idea of a living hell.
Why?
A catfish festival.
You would rattle some catfish, no?
This small redneck town smelling like fish. Oh no,
You
man.
think the whole town smells of fish?
If it's a fish festival, they're obviously cooking it up, grilling it up.
There will be some abundance of catfish.
Just doesn't seem. There's loads of bunting about, they're all sitting in barrels. No man, no for me. Too hot as well with mosquitoes everywhere. I'm out here, man. I'm on my way back to New York, eating a pretzel and a dog.
Oh, I love a pretzel,
slice.
man. Oh.
A slice of pie.
I was thinking I'd like to look at catfish, but they're probably eating the catfish, aren't they?
I don't think I remember ever seeing catfish in the film.
There isn't one bit of catfish
Like
in
it's
this.
called the Catfish Festival, not a catfish in sight.
No, there isn't a catfish.
It's weird, isn't it?
Melanie apologises to Melanie Linsky's Lurlin, and she's so sweet. She accepts the apology immediately like it's nothing. She lets slip here that Jake went to New York about a year after she left. He said it was nothing like he had ever seen, and he knew he had to conquer the world first before he got her back, and that he's been trying ever since. That's why he kept sending the divorce papers back. Lurlin says it's funny how things don't work out, and Melanie responds that it's funny how they do, implying it's beautiful how Lurlin has turned out with her family. That's really nice.
Yeah, this is basically just a big exposition dump here, though, isn't it? Here's a character to explain.
Put it somewhere. We cut to night and the town is lit up beautifully. The band are totally killing it. Jake walks Bobby Ray over, saying he was nervous about coming over, asks if anyone has a problem with Bobby Ray, and he asks Bobby Ray if he's still the same Bobby Ray from last night, and he puts his arm around him. He says if he can buy Bobby Ray a beer. Bobby Ray replies, "Well, you're not really my type," and everyone is totally cool.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
What?
This sheriff's shady. This sheriff who was happy earlier about molesting people, that guy. He's got a thing or two to say about it. He'll not say to know, but seeing he's got a drink in him later on, he'll start on Bobby Ray. No, that is a bit presumptuous.
You've took this. How do you imagine the font looks in the poster of this film? You imagine it quite sharp and bold, didn't you?
Why? Aye.
And red dripping maybe?
Yeah.
My God, man. Mel checks out her glass, checks out the bottom of it, and it says Deep South Glass. Everyone is being so coy about this glass.
Man, this whole glass sub-story of this movie, why does nobody just tell her? Here, by the way, Jake makes glass.
They keep it dangling like a catfish on a hook.
Nice, like what you done there.
Sweet Home Alabama plays because it has to, and they all get their butts up. Lurlin drags Jake to the floor, and Melanie drags, is this Clinton, to the dance floor. Mel and Jake find themselves standing in front of each other, and he offers his hand, which she rejects. Brutal.
Yeah. They're doing some line dancing here as well, man. This is like the dancing you done in school, remember that?
No, nobody picked us.
Oh man, sorry. But remember this, you had to do the Charleston, the two-step and the gay Gordon and all that, remember?
Country dancing.
You had to do country dancing in school.
It
It was like compulsory, it was mental.
It's the end of the night and the boys are sitting on the water tower. They throw around ideas for what to do next. Should they go to the roadhouse? Should they arrest someone? Bobby Ray suggests a place, and in unison they say no. It isn't aggressive, it just kind of sucks a wee bit. But they date with affection.
It's a joke. It's humorous. This wasn't bad.
Jake notices Melanie walking alone and he calls it a night. I like this shot from overhead.
Where he
It's lit
drops
with
the beer
lanterns.
bottle.
He drops the beer bottle, and in reverse of that, you've got Melanie walking in a wide with the lanterns.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really-
right. Yep.
Both shots are lovely. It's a lovely
You
composition.
think that somebody that respected glass so much when they drop that beer bottle off a water tower and smash it?
Do you think he's pure protective of glass?
He's pure.
Do you think
Recycle that
earlier
shit,
in the
mate.
night when people were only put recycling glass, he was pure giving them dogs?
Aye, definitely, man. He's like, oh, pick it up.
Hey, that's glass.
Recycle.
Melanie, this scene, man. Oh. Melanie wanders into the dog cemetery and this scene kills me. She apologises for not being... She goes to Bear's grave and she apologises for not being there and acknowledges her selfishness. She hurts and talks about him being a big old pillow. She cries and talks about how he never left her side and how she left him and how he probably felt guilty about her leaving. Jake interjects and says he told Bear it was his fault. Mel asks why life is so complicated. She says she's happy in New York, but then she comes home and it fits here too. Jake says she can have both. She can have roots and wings. She can maybe fly south for the winter. Jake asks her to turn around.
Wine is another one I've highlighted.
It's not going to...
Fly south for the winter. Fuck off.
I'm not going to... You're not going to like any of this that I've wrote. I've really detailed this, Ryan.
Oh, this whole speech is the cringiest thing ever.
I've left stuff out. I could have wrote the novelisation for this.
Oh, man.
Jake asks her to turn around and look at something he has in his sight. They notice lightning bugs in the distance. He says he still goes out there sometimes. She says she had a dream about it the other night. He asks if she ever thinks about what would have happened if they hadn't gotten pregnant. He says he knows the baby would have been an adventure, but it took him so long to realise it would have been her only adventure. That's a pretty good line.
Yeah, that line's fine. And it implies, I mean, they don't say it, but it basically implies that they lost a child at some point.
Yeah, they pretty much say it. Yeah, he says Mother Nature had different plans.
Yeah.
She says she was so ashamed because she felt relieved when she lost the baby. She felt like she needed a new life. He tells her she's done so well for herself. That's pretty
I like this scene.
progressive for
And I like
this.
the fact that it gives a reason as to why she left. Because it doesn't really say why she went to New York. Obviously to pursue fashion, but like maybe she was also running because she lost a baby and maybe it was too hard for her to stay there. She wanted to reset her life, sort of thing.
She felt like she needed a new life. He tells her she's done so well for herself and that he's proud of her. And he's only sorry he didn't dance with her at their wedding. That's nice, man. He hopes the next wedding will go better for her. She says she can't do this. He says he knows. She kisses him. He kisses her back. He pushes her away and tells her to go home. Mel's mum walks her out and warns her not to be messing with Jake. She doesn't want Melanie to end up like her. She tells her not to forget to say bye to her daddy. We go to Arrow on the battlefield.
Oh, I fucking hate this.
She wanders around looking through these dead corpse actors whilst the cannons are still firing. One corpse gets up and asks who she's looking for. They help her out and then play dead again. That was funny.
That wasn't funny.
No.
I hated this scene, it's so stupid. That doesn't need to be in the film. It should just be her going out for her dad and she finds him. That's just wasted screen time.
Where would she have found him?
Just at the battlefield, she's walking about and she's like, Daddy, and he's like, what?
Man.
And also they wouldn't let her on this battlefield. Like they don't let like civilians just like run onto a Civil War reenactment, do they?
It's a Pigeon Creek Civil War. There's no security. Drew is in town and wearing a fancy turtleneck.
Oh man, he's looking good even though he's wearing a brown turtleneck. Not a lot of people can pull that off.
Jake,
He'd be exceptionally handsome to make that work.
Jake looks at the car and the fancy clothes and he asks if he's here to see Bobby Ray.
That's funny. He assumes that he's gay, he's his boyfriend or something.
He says it with this cheeky wink and it's a pure nice scene. This is when he says he's Melanie's fiancé. They tap the door and Bobby Ray answers. He thinks Jake's brought him a present and it's cute as hell. Did you see this? His eyes light up.
No.
As soon he says hi to Jake and he looks at him and he says, "Oh, what's this?" or something. It's really funny. Jake says he'll give Drew a ride to go find Melanie on the battlefield. Drew asks about Melanie Smooter. Jake says that she's a legend around here. She blew up the bank. She heard a cat was dying and it was going to have a pretty horrible death. So she strapped dynamite to it for a very sudden death. And as soon as the fuse hit, the cat took off and into the bank. Legend has it you still see the cat around town with a Scott's tail. Drew asks what happened to Melanie Schmooter. Jake says she got pregnant, married a loser right out of high school. Pretty brutal. Drew shows up and asks if she's surprised. Jake says he delivered her fiancé. He then says that he and Drew fell in love with two very different people. This is when Drew asks if they're second cousins.
Ah, that's quite funny. But you're calling him Drew. It's Andrew, is it?
Yeah, she calls him Drew, I think.
Yeah, I've got a bit. It's just in my notes I've wrote Andrew, but I might have misheard it. That's why I was confused.
I feel like I know him enough to call him Drew.
Aye, his pals call him Drew. I'll call him Andrew. Because you love this song.
Drew, Errol comes over and introduces himself. Drew is quite rude here. He kind of looks him up and down a bit.
In fairness, though, he's just been devastated. He's just found out that his fiancée has been living this double life.
And he's like,
she has a husband.
He's like, who's this soldier?
And then this guy comes up wearing a Confederate outfit and tries to shake his on her, but what the fuck you doing? Drew is absolutely justified in everything that he does here.
I think he's just hurt, isn't he? He's quite hurt and surprised.
Drew leaves. He says he's getting on a plane back home. As you say, Melanie's making jam with her mum in the kitchen. She's all sad.
Sometimes the ruined fruit makes the best jam. Pretty good line.
Is that true? I don't know anything about making jam.
I mean, this is coming for the person that makes the best jam in 3 counties.
Alright, okay, so she knows what she's talking about. Fair enough.
Errol shows up with Drew, and this is when Melanie says, "This is my mama. She makes the best jam in 3 counties." I don't know how true that is. I feel like she's maybe just saying that.
Everybody thinks their mum makes the best. Like, my mum scientifically makes the best French toast. Like, she just does. I've had French toast everywhere, but my mom's French toast is the fucking business, man.
My wife will tell you her mother makes the best French toast.
That's a thing, though. Stephanie's mum, well, Stephanie thinks that, that's my wife. My wife thinks that her mum makes the best French toast. It's just one of those things.
This is when Mel is real sweet about her parents and she's great about her upbringing. She's shy about her surroundings but brags about it. It's dead nice. Drew says, "So you have a past. Who doesn't? What I need to know is there a place for me in your future?" Righto. That is pretty good. That's pretty good.
He is far too forgiving.
He is enchanted me. He was enchanted.
This is your out here. Clearly she doesn't have a place in the future for him. Clearly she loves Jake. But she leads this guy on here. This is your out to be like, no, do you know what, there isn't a place in your future. This is too complicated, too messy. It's been nice knowing you.
The mum swoons at this line and I'm thinking she wants him instead of Errol.
Aye. No wonder him wearing that uniform.
Drew says there's a big snazzy wedding in New York to be going to. Melanie says she was thinking she could just have the wedding in Pigeon Creek. I've did the love heart emoji and the monkey hiding its eyes.
Why?
That's sweet, man.
Is it?
She said
this place that she hates, this town that she insulted everybody in that bar, and now she suddenly is so in love with it that she wants to have the wedding there. It's just because her mum and dad can't be asked fighting in New York.
There is a touch of that.
Aye.
The mum at this point says, Peril at this point says, "How many times does your only daughter get married other than before?"
Ah, that was funny, yeah.
We cut to the mayor and she says, "Felony Melanie, I don't know what's worse, child cat killer or Sons of the Confederacy."
Again, at least they touch on it.
This is when she says...
There's a great line here.
She's so funny. He mentions, "Why are you being bigoted about poor people?"
She's like, She says, I love poors, I was elected by the poors.
So funny. And she doesn't blink about saying it.
No, she says it and just plows on with the sentence. It's really, really great, man. She's so good, man.
There's a right Game of Thrones thing between them, though.
Aye, a lot of intense politics, a lot of unsaid stuff.
Like, I don't think it's ever stretched beyond, you know, in movies and TV when maybe she's taking a bath and there's a cracked door. She sees him watching and he just watches. You know,
She continues washing like she doesn't cover herself.
have you
up.
seen Witness with the Amish and Harrison Ford?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
Great film.
but he's more. Witness is a brilliant film. Great film. Is it great? It's brilliant. I love that film, man. Oh my god. He lists the accommodation down south and he gets off on every basic motel and hotel he can mention.
He's like a Premier Inn, Travel Lodge, Motel 6. And you can see his mum's uncomfortable, and the more uncomfortable she's getting, the more he's like, yes.
Loving it.
Yes, you hate this.
Oh.
You hate these scummy hotels. Oh, tell me how much you hate it.
We get the wedding setup montage. She tries calling Jake and he unplugs the phone. Mel arrives with her entourage. They see the poster for Deep South Glass. The glass is lovely, but this poster is a pure channel.
It's a pure shanny, that poster.
Oh, it's a
That's what
shanny.
attracts me. If I seen this poster, but I'm not going there.
It isn't the Jurassic Park font, but it's a bother away for it.
Yeah.
I think Jake drew it or got Mel for one of the boys to do it with a crayon.
He probably get Bobby rated it. You must be artistic. Bobby's like, that's really offensive.
I need to move.
I need to leave this place, man. It's fucking horrible.
They arrive to Deep South Glass and it's beautiful. It's on the lake. Mel notices that the plane's there and it says Moe's Fishing on it. This is when Nathan Lee Graham
It's a really
says,
great line. It says, do we know Mo?
his delivery
I
of
butchered
that
that, I'm sorry.
little line is so funny.
I was sitting beside my wife watching this and she watched it laughing. This is the only time she laughed in the movie. She hated it more than me.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that was really funny, that line.
She says it's what happens when sand hits lightning, and he says, she's pulling your dick.
Wow, you loved that.
That's so... Everybody around them's shocked, and he's like, what? The Deep South Glass is nice, but I've seen some of it in TK Maxx.
Oh, aye, 100%. Aye.
In it, though.
Aye,
It's
this isn't
alright.
anything special to me.
Oh, he's done well for himself, but it's TK Maxx. Melanie sees Brian when...
You wouldn't let this dog anywhere near this glass, by the way. This big dumpling of a dog.
You think this is Beethoven?
Do you know what I mean? A big bloodhound dog. Is that a bloodhound? What kind of dog is it? Just cutting about with its big body and its big waggly tail near this really expensive and dangerous glass.
Were you pure expecting like hijinks?
No, I didn't expect that to happen in the movie, but I'm just in general, if I owned a glass shop, I wouldn't have this big stupid dog cutting about.
Bryant's lovely, man.
No, he's a great dog, but what I mean is just, you know, you get those big dogs that are big lovable, but they're big, like, they jump on you, they think they're tiny.
Beethoven.
They don't realise they're in strength and size, they just jump on you.
Beethoven too.
You wouldn't have a big dog in a glass shop.
They made like 6 of them.
I know, man. Even Bushy bowed it. No, aye. Even
You're thinking about the K9 series, motherfucker.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I'm thinking about K9.
Turner and Hooch of the series, starring
Recently.
Oppenheimer's Josh Peck.
It was on Disney Plus,
Yeah.
and quickly get cancelled, I believe.
Oh, you're not getting that a second. He knew that wasn't getting a second season. He just wanted to clap a dog.
Anyway,
She sees Bryant, then Jake comes down all dreamy and she wants him bad. He's polite, but leaves her alone.
aye, basically gives her a very polite knockback here.
They get to Melanie's and Nathan is looking at Peryl's spoons. He's really polite and compliments her taste. Errol gives an eyebrow.
Yeah, he's not too happy about this, all these people in his house.
A small man arrives in Pigeon Creek looking for Melanie. Everyone is in this diner and he asks where she is. They sort of shrug him off, thinking it's a reporter, and it's really sweet. It's in defence of Melanie.
Yeah. Also, though, why is this? Because we found out later this guy's the lawyer. Why is he not got her mobile number? Like, how is she not answering her lawyer's calls? It's never really explained why this guy's struggling so much to get hold of her. Because remember, later on in the movie, he's walking down the aisle and he's like, "You're a very hard woman to get hold of."
I think it's just sort of adds tension to the third act.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. So it's just there because it has to be. But man, you could have phoned this lassie.
The mayor arrives and she is uncomfortable the entire time. Errol gets her in the recliner and it's really funny.
Aye, it's... No. That's not anything for me, this scene.
Stella arrives to give Jake a talking to. He says he can't control Melanie any more than he can control the weather. Takes his equipment and heads for the stormy beach. Melanie's mum tries convincing Mel into going ahead with this wedding so she can have a life that they couldn't have dreamt of giving her. The short man interrupts the wedding. It turns out he's a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, before the wedding, though, like, it shows you Andrew waiting for her and it's starting to rain.
Yeah.
There's a storm brewing.
Yeah.
Remember that because it becomes important later. Foreshadowing, and I'm already rolling my eyes. Again, I've not seen this movie before, but I know what's going to happen. As soon as it starts raining, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. She's going to end up in that fucking beach somehow, isn't she?
I like how you basically spent the next 20 minutes wondering how's she going to get back to that beach. The short man interrupts the wedding. It turns out he's the divorce lawyer. Jake did sign the...
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but I've got another note. The bridesmaid wearing a white dress. It's a bit cheeky.
I don't get why that's cheeky. I don't get things like that.
Isn't it only the bride that's supposed to wear white? Is that not like a traditional thing?
Who cares?
No, I don't care.
Why are you bringing it up?
Because it's just like, traditionally, it just stands out. Like, the bride wears white, that's the whole thing, and the bridesmaid's also wearing what looks like a wedding dress.
Talking about tradition, you sound as bad as some of these clowns in this film.
Okay.
With their traditions.
Aye, fair enough. There's a lot of traditions there we shouldn't talk about.
This turns out to be the divorce lawyer. Jake did sign the papers, Ryan, but Melanie didn't.
How did Jake not see that also? See when he signed his house, you know, looking at the bit of his surname.
He'd assumed that she was going to sign them next, probably.
No? Possibly, aye. This reveal, I mean, I can't speak for you when you were sitting in the aisles of that loaded cinema, but I'm just rolling my eyes at this point, looking at the watch, being like, when's this over, man?
It's nearly there.
When's this over? Because this is bullshit.
Stella gives Melanie a pen.
Also, this doesn't work like this. So the guy gives her a pen, says you need to sign it now. It can't be that fast. You can't sign that paper and then turn around to get married again.
Maybe if he's just witnessed it.
I don't know. That just seems... Legally, this is a grey area.
It's a romantic comedy, man.
Sorry. It turns out she hasn't signed the divorce papers. They're still married.
Stella gives Melanie a pen, telling her these things don't just happen, you know. Errol says you can't ride two horses with one ass, sugar bean.
Yeah, that's funny. That line makes me laugh.
Mel says to Drew, you don't want to marry me. Not really. The truth is, I gave my heart away a long time ago, my whole heart, and I never really got it back. She apologises and she's deeply upset. He says, wow, so this is what this feels like. I think he's not getting what he wants. He's not...
Yeah, but
he's
he is
heartbroken.
Taking this. He's not heartbroken. He seems totally okay with this.
He's
far too nice about this.
He's great about it. But
this is when I was watching this in real time. I text you at this point. So as this happened, I text you. Do you remember what my text said?
He's the hero of the movie.
Andrew's the hero of this movie. He is so nice about everything.
Jake's not a bad guy, man. He's also self-made.
No, Jake's not the villain. I'm not saying that. If anything, Mel's the villain. She's not a very nice person at all. She's not likeable in any way.
Yeah, she is. How?
Because she's a snob about her old town. She makes fun of everybody. She gets drunk. She outs the gay guy. She cheats on her fiancé.
She resents herself.
And then she leaves this guy at the aisle after he's spent how much on this wedding, which she could have told him earlier before they arranged this big wedding and party, and people had to get shifts off work and babysitters.
She resents herself. He says, wow, this is what this feels like. He is totally amazing about this. The mayor
loses her shit, rightfully so. I'm on her side. Basically calls her a selfish bitch. That is Mel's mum, tries to intervene. What is it she calls Mel's mum? I don't have the quote written down. She turns around, she says something cheeky to her.
Go fry something.
Oh, I think it's not just go fry some food.
In your, it's another word for a trailer. In your double wide.
Yeah, go fry. That's what she says. Go back to your double wide and fry some food or something. She says to her, and then Mel punches her in the face.
It's good.
After Melanie punches Andrew's mum in the face, Melanie's dad shouts, "The South will rise again!" And I'm like, mate, you can't say that. So, you know what I'm saying? You're watching this scene thinking,
There's a lot of that through.
Oh, it made me grunt, that scene.
The cut to the beach.
Yeah, it's fucking pouring a rain.
Just like the start of the movie.
Just like the start of the movie when they were running through the beach as kids, but now they're adults. She's got her wedding dress on, she's took her shoes off. She's running down the beach looking for Jake. He's got these, is it lightning rods? I don't know what they are. Big mad metal poles or whatever he's using to, I guess they're conductors.
You're a lightning rod.
On the beach in the rain, lightning and shit, slow motion kiss. Cop brings them back in for running out on cake. They go back to the bar for the wedding party. The only two gay characters have to get together because of course they do. That was a problem.
I like them together.
But of course, like, oh, he's gay and he's gay, they must fancy each other.
They meet in a really nice circumstance. They go to put Rock'em Sock'em robots on the wedding cake, which is a great side gig. Yeah,
no, that's fine. It's just the fact that, like...
I mean, why not? They're both gay, handsome, why not?
No, exactly, but it just feels like, oh, we get two gay characters, they have to get together.
Oh, but every film's
I know, but it just seems a bit forced.
We watched Kissing Booth and it was like that not long ago.
Let's talk about the beach scene. I'm assuming you've got more details on this.
No, yeah, you summed up the movie. Yeah. He says, why would you want to marry me anyhow? She says, so I can kiss you anytime I want. So it's the reversal. It's cute as hell. Lightning strikes.
They're in the rain on the beach.
It's nice.
It's the most rom-com cookie cutter bullshit ever. They do a kiss, of course, it's slow motion as the lightning hits. I was hoping the lightning hits him and he dies.
There is an alternative cut.
You're joking, because I thought about this.
I
thought it would be like a Notebook, Dear John kind of situation.
They don't kill her, but he goes back to the bar and pretends that she's been struck by lightning.
Why would you do that?
It is ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's crazy. It's crazier than this. And they go back to the bar. He carries her over the threshold.
Yeah. Of a bar. They have a nice wee wedding party. The whole town's there. She says play a slow song in the jukebox and they play Sweet Home Alabama. It's not a slow song.
We zoom out and who's eating the wedding cake?
The cat with the singed tail.
That's so cute.
That was a funny joke and I was glad that the cat was at least alive.
It's cool that it's a legend.
Yeah.
It shows that...
A bit minging as it's eating the cake.
It's cool that the legend lives on, like Felony Melanie.
But you're right, the Rock'em Sock'em on top of the cake is a cute... Well, it's funny. The cat eating the cake is good. And then that's it, credits.
Sweet Home Alabama 2002. What did you think, man?
I did not like this movie at all, man. And it's not because it's a rom-com. There's plenty of rom-coms out there that I do like. This just didn't do it for me. It wasn't funny. I don't think I laughed. It wasn't romantic. I know you think this movie should be romantic. I just don't. I feel like poor Patrick Dempsey. I feel like it would have been better if he was an arsehole. Because that way you were rooting for her and Jake. But he's so lovely throughout the movie, it's like, I just feel bad for him in the end. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that maybe he's got another girl, or he's leading a double life, or like there's something in it that makes him the baddie, so you want her to run to Jake, makes him more heroic. But the fact is, he gets treated horribly for no reason. Reese Witherspoon's character Mel isn't very likeable to me. I just think that she just comes across a bit selfish and entitled the whole movie. Jake's very boring. I mean, he's a handsome big guy, but he makes glass and flies a plane and has a dog. That's his character. I'm just not really interested. The plantation stuff and all the South stuff and the Civil War stuff and the Confederate flags a bit iffy, but it's true. I mean, it's Alabama, and that is what you're going to get there. So at least it's like true to the place. But yeah, man, this movie just wasn't for me. It didn't do it for me. I struggled to get through it. It took me 3 sittings. I watched like 20 minutes and 20 minutes and 20 minutes or something like that to do it like that, because I couldn't watch it all at once. I was just so fucking depressed. With all that being said, I'm going to give it a generous 2 out of 5 coconuts.
That's higher than I thought, to be fair.
2 just because I like a lot of the actors, like Ethan Embry, and all of the sort of smaller side characters.
Okay, man. Sweet Home Alabama 2002. I totally adore this movie, despite its... I get all of your negative comments about this film. It's aged terribly. It wasn't cool at the time. It's a time capsule, definitely. I feel like it's quite a personal movie to Reese Witherspoon to a degree, and possibly the resentment of where she grew up and how she had to possibly flee that sort of life. I think she's incredible in this. I really rate her as an actor, and her ability to navigate Hollywood has been incredible. She's survived being a kid actor right up. It's pretty amazing. I mean, she entered the scene a little later than some, but from, Freeway onwards, she's always been incredible. I really like Josh Lucas. I love this supporting cast. It feels like the town's alive. This is just a big blanket to me. It's cheesy. It's really tacky. I do find it really charming. I'd put it on a list of movies I would recommend alongside something like Doc Hollywood. It's romanticising the South and whitewashing in a way I don't like, and it's romanticising and whitewashing the Deep South's history, and that's not great. I would still rather see it in this light than a real light sometimes, if you get my meaning.
Yeah, especially for a romantic comedy.
Definitely.
Like, it's not like a film like, I don't know, like, Mississippi Burning or like Selma, one of those movies that's like a historical. This is a romantic comedy. It's supposed to be light-hearted. It would be kind of fucking messed up with the tone of the movie if they get right into all the history of the South.
It requires a real separation from what it was really like and what it is really like, and unfortunately we get let off light as viewers. I couldn't imagine what it would be like being a person of colour watching this, but I do acknowledge that.
I'm sure they'd have a lot more comments than me.
100%, and I totally acknowledge that. I would give this a 3.5 out of 5 coconuts. I find it really entertaining.
I'm never going to watch this movie again.
Ever in your life?
No. Unless I need to do it for another podcast. But that's the only reason I would watch this movie if I had to, for a reason, but not like for pleasure, only for business.
A wee callback to an earlier teaser. Do you want a wee teaser for next week's episode?
That's right, I would like. Oh no, it's no more pie, is it? Whatever that is, stop it. Just stop making that noise and play the trailer.
The kissing booth is open for business! Again!
Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to be this nervous. I'm guessing you might have a few questions. Let me bring you up to speed. As soon as school ended, Noah and I spent the whole summer together. And then, exactly 27 days ago, my heart flew off to Harvard. I miss you, jerk.
I miss you more.
And here I am, first day of senior year.
And here we go.
Oh my God, Ellen, how are you?
So many beautiful girls at Harvard.
Experienced girls?
Sorry about you and Noah.
We didn't break up, though.
With different zip codes, breakups are basically automatic.
Automatic.
Sometimes I hate high school.
That new guy, Marco?
He is seriously luscious.
The OMGs literally described 100 different ways Marco is a snack.
Nice to meet you. But I'm a little hungry, so I'm gonna go get myself a snack.
Very funny.
Lee and I have dreamed of going to Berkeley.
Ever since we found out that's where our moms became besties.
You're gonna love it there.
Maybe you can come to school here with me.
This is definitely a problem.
Need a hand?
Hell no.
Meet Marco for the booth. Why? Everyone's obsessed with him. You get him, everyone else will just fall in line.
We were wondering if you'd be one of our kissers this year.
No.
Don't you believe in charity?
Standing here talking to you.
I sent out applications to Tufts, Boston College, and Harvard.
What the hell?
You're asking yourself if it's worth changing all of your plans for him.
I love this city.
I love this girl.
Do you think you and Noah were meant to be together?
I always thought we were.
I'm sorry I went out and left my phone at home.
Who'd you go with?
Just some of the guys. Oh, I'm asking you to trust me.
If I found someone smart, funny, and liked the same stuff I like, I'd hold on to them.
As soon as I start to figure out one thing, something or someone changes and makes me question everything.
Al!
Oh boy.